Hi, I'm Katie from Bantu Media, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a WooCommerce build your own product website. It's going to let your customers choose lots of different components in order to build a custom product for themselves, such as it might be a vegetable box, a hamper, a build your own sandwich or pizza, or anything like that. So the idea is that you can display lots of different items in an easy to use format on your website, and your customers can tick as many items as they want in order to create their custom build your own product, hamper, box, whatever it is you're selling. So you can see here that I've divided it into categories with, for a build your own hamper concept, I've got the ability to choose a box for the hamper, choose all the different items of food that you want to put within the hamper, and also choose some finishing touches such as gift wrap, ribbon, straw filling, etc. And some of them are just listed as normal products with a price alongside. Others are listed as variable products with choices that customers can choose between. So it's really flexible and easy for your customers to use, and you can use it for any different type of build your own product website. So I'm going to show you how to do this exact website that you can see here. So to get started, I'm going to take you through to the WordPress admin for my test site. Okay, so we're in the WordPress admin for our test site now, and I'm going to go to the plugins page and show you two plugins which you will need to implement this tutorial. Most of the plugins in this list you can ignore, and that's just other plugins we're using on our website, but the ones you need are WooCommerce and WooCommerce Product Table. So WooCommerce is the free e-commerce plugin which will power the main functionality of your online store. So that's the ability to add products and categorize them, and your payment gateways, your cart, your checkout. So the e-commerce side of things is all provided through WooCommerce. You will also need our plugin, WooCommerce Product Table, which is how you're going to display your WooCommerce products in a nice order form style format so that your customers can select all the different elements of the build your own product to create their own product according to their needs. So you need those two plugins. So install them both, follow the instructions that you get with each of them, and start adding your products in WooCommerce. I'll show you some products that I have already added, and I'm also going to add one more product myself. So we've got some products that I've already added here. So you can see I've got a box or basket for my hampers, and I've got various items to go within it. And I've also got some decorative things that you might have with a hamper. So I've got gift wrap and filling for the box and stuff like that. So I've added lots of different products, and I'm going to use those. I'm going to categorize them in a minute and show you how to display them in a nice build your own format to your customers. Next, we will add categories so that we can categorize our products into different sections. The reason we're going to do this is because we want people to be able to select the items from each section separately. So to use the hamper example, we want people to be able to choose the hamper boxes first, so the type of basket or box. We then want the customer to be able to choose all the different food items that will go inside their hamper. And we also finally want them to choose any extras such as gift wrapping. So we're going to do all of those things through categories. So I went to products, categories, and this is provided by the WooCommerce plugin. And I'm going to add 3 categories. Actually, I'm going to add 4. I'm going to write hampers as the parent category. You don't have to use parent categories, but I am because I've got loads of categories on my website. So it just is a way to keep it organized. But the important ones are the child categories. So let's have one called boxes. And we're going to make it a child of hampers by selecting hampers as the parent. So I'm going to use that category for my hamper boxes. Next, I'm going to write, let's call it content. Again, hampers is the parent. And finally, I'm going to add one more category, which is finishing touches. Let's just call that finish. Hampers is the parent, and we add new category. So we've done that, and now we can categorize our products. So let's go back to the products page. So that's here under products. And if you've already created your products, the easiest way to categorize them is to use quick edit. So I'm just going to go quick edit, and then I'm going to find the relevant category and click update. And you do that for each product that you want to use, and the reason we're doing this is because we're going to display a different list of products in each category using the WooCommerce product table plugin in a minute. So that will let people choose the product from one category, then another, and then another to create the complete build your own product, which is what we want. Okay, so I have now categorized all my products into the correct categories. The next thing I'm going to do is add one more product just to show you how it's done. So you can see that I've already added various products. Now there's a bit of logic to think about here as to how you want to present your products, because there are two ways to do it basically. One option is to list each item for the build your own product as separate products, and that's what I've done here. So I've added my chocolate truffle pops as a product, luxury biscuits as a product, and so on. So these are each standalone items that your customers will be able to add to their boxes. And that's good if you want, if there's no restrictions, if you just want people to be able to add as many things as they want, and the price will go up depending on how much they add. If you're doing some products which are mutually exclusive, then a better way is to use variable products or product variations. The benefit of product variations is that customers then have to make a choice. So they can select different choices from the drop-down list and they would only have one. An example of that is if you are buying a gift hamper, you might want to add ribbon around it in a certain colour. So I'm going to show you how to add ribbon. So this is an alternative to adding each ribbon colour as a separate product, because you don't want people to choose 5 different ribbon colours, do you? So instead we're going to create a drop down of ribbon colours so that people can just choose one of them. So we're going to go to products, add product, and I'm going to call my product ribbon, and I'm going to spell it correctly. There, down a bit, we're going to find the categories and we're going to put it in the finishing touches category because that's most relevant for mine. And then if you scroll down a bit, if you were adding each product as a standalone item, then you would just keep it a simple product and add the price here. But that's not what we're doing now. We want a variable product instead. So the variable product is where you have different options for that product. Now, to create a variable product, you need to create some attributes, and then you will use those to create variations. And there are two ways to add attributes. You can do it directly on this page, but if you want to add filters so that people can filter for that attribute, then you would need to do it globally under product attributes. And that basically allows your attributes to be selected more centrally for multiple products. So if you were going to use them for multiple products, or if you wanted to be able to filter by these attributes, then I'd suggest you add them in product attributes and then select them from this list here. But I just want to add the ribbon colours for this specific product. So what I'm going to do is go custom product attribute and click add. And then let's just call the attribute, let's call it ribbon colour to be really clear. And then I'm going to add the different colours with the pipe, I think it's called that, mark in between. So let's write red, blue, green, orange, yellow. Okay, and let's make it consistent there. So those are the different attributes we want people to choose from. You can choose whether or not to have those listed on the product page. I usually say no if I'm using it for variations, because the variations will be listed anyway, so you don't want duplication. But yeah, you do need to tick use for variations and then click save attributes. And then once that's saved, click to the variations tab. And to add a variation, you need to create variations from all attributes. And your variations will appear based on the attributes you created in the attributes tab. So for each variation, you want to click on the little arrow here and you can add whatever information. You can upload a separate image for the variation if you want to. You can change the price and you can change the stock status. So you can basically control each variation separately if you want to, or if not, then you can use the centralized side of things. So For example, just a general price for all of them. So you can either have the same price for everything or separate ones. So let's just go through each variation and just add a couple of different things just so that you can see how it works on my test site. Okay, so we've added all those variations and then we click Save Changes. And finally, I'm going to upload a product image, and I uploaded a ribbon picture earlier, so I'm just going to add that. Like I said, you could have separate images for each variation if you preferred to. And then we're going to publish the product. So that's how you add a variable product with a drop-down list that people can select from. Or if you prefer, you can list the variations each on a separate row of the table, which we'll see later. Or if you want to, then you can just have each product, each item as a separate product so that customers can select as many as they want rather than choosing one or the other. So we've added products, we've put them in categories. The next thing we can do is actually display them on our website in a nice build your own format. So we'll go to Pages, Add New, and we're going to create a page listing build your own product. So let's call it Build Your Own Product. Right, so first we're going to add some headings to the page, and I'm going to write 3 headings. So choose a box, choose your contents, and choose the finishing touches. And then let's make them all as heading style. And then under each heading, we're going to add a table which will list all of the items which customers can choose from. So for each one, we're going to use the WooCommerce product table shortcode added via the WooCommerce product table plugin, which you installed earlier in this tutorial. So to use it, you add open square brackets and you write product underscore table. Now, if you just close the bracket now, it would just list all the products on your website. So if you're keeping it really simple with just the one category, you can just do product underscore table in square brackets, and that's it. I'm going to do it a little bit more sophisticated than that. So I'm going to tell it, first of all, to display products from the boxes category only. So let's write category equals boxes. Now that is the slug for the category that I created a minute ago under products categories. You can also use the category ID if you know that. I'm going to continue with the shortcode. I'm going to tell it what type of add to cart button to add. By default, if you ignore this next bit, then each of the products in your table will have an add to cart button next to it. But I think that for a build your own product system, it's more appropriate to have little tick boxes next to each item so that the customer can tick as many as they want and add them all to the cart together to create their hamper. So I'm going to do that by adding cart underscore button equals checkbox. And finally, I'm going to add variations equals, and in quotation marks, true. Now, you only need to add variations true if you are displaying variable products. And this will tell the product table to display the variations as drop downs that we talked about earlier. We're just about to release a new version of WooCommerce product table, which will have another option for variations, which will let you display each variation as a separate row in the table. So check the documentation in our knowledge base if you want to do that instead. That will be ready very soon. And at the moment, you can just display variations in a drop down. So have a look at that for the moment. So I'm just going to add 2 more product tables. Like that. I'm going to change the categories. So I think we called the second one contents, didn't we? And I think we called that finish, but I may be remembering wrong. So if it doesn't work, I'll need to check the name of my category. So let's publish the page. Actually, let's make it full width and publish it. And then I'm just going to have a look at the page and see what we've got. So we've got a build your own product page with subheadings I chose. Under the subheading, we have got the different categories. So we've got a product table for the hamper box or basket. I only put 1 product in this category because I just want people to choose one type of hamper box. So you can just choose the one and then you can tick it and add it to the cart. You then go down to your next section, which is choose your contents. I added these as standalone products because you can just order as many as you want and it will increase the total cost of your order. So you can choose as many items as you want to go within your hamper, and again you can add them to the cart. And moving down a bit further, I've got the finishing touches as well. Some of these I added as standalone items, and so you can just tick them. Others I added as variable products, and you can see that it's greyed out at the moment. You can't add that because you need to choose a ribbon colour and then you can add it to the cart. So that's how it works with the default colour columns. But I want to add some more columns because it's not very pretty at the moment and some of my columns are blank, so that's not ideal. So let's have a play and make the choice of columns a bit more suitable. We'll go back to the page and let's just have a play with the contents column for now. We don't need to do them all. So I'm going to write columns equals, and then I'm going to list which columns I want within my table. So I want an image column. You don't have to, you can choose different columns, and our knowledge base has full instructions on all the different columns that you can have. So I'm going to have image. I want name, which is the product name. Just thinking what else to have. Let's have price, and we'll have the add to cart column, and then we close the quotation marks. I'm just going to save the page, and then once it's saved I can refresh it, and I want the second table on my page to update with the new columns. So there we have some new items which are a lot prettier already, as you can see. And so what I want to do now is I'm going to add a description column because that will describe each product. Again, it's really flexible and you can have whatever columns you want basically. So after the name, let's just add a description. The description will show the first however many characters of the main product description. If you prefer, you can use the short description which comes with WooCommerce instead. So now I've got a description field. There's tons of stuff you can display like reviews, attributes, categories, tags. You can have columns for all sorts of things. But as you can see, there's a couple of elements that you may want to get rid of on your page to tidy up the order form page a bit more. So for example, you might want to get rid of this bit that says show 25 products. You might want to hide the search or the reset button because for most build your own websites, you probably won't want to have lots of filters and things because your list of each section probably isn't that long. If you do have dozens or even hundreds of items within a section to choose from, such as the hamper content on this example, then that's absolutely fine, and you can use the product table filters and extra options to choose how many rows per page, etc. But if you just want to keep it clean and simple, which I do in my example, then I will show you how to hide these extra elements. So I'm going to show you how to hide the show however many products, reset button, the search box, and also the bottom totals section which says how many products in total and how many it's showing at the moment. So let's go back to our page with the shortcode. I'll add it to the top shortcode on the page. I'm going to add 4 more parameters to the shortcode to tell you how to do it. If it sounds a bit confusing, don't worry, it's all there in our knowledge base. So for example, here's a page on how to control all the elements that display above and below the table. So it's all there fully documented for you to follow. So I'll show you 4 examples of how to clean up the page a bit for smaller tables now. First, I'm going to write display underscore page underscore length equals false within quotation marks. And I'm going to do the same for the other 3. So it's display underscore search underscore box equals, again, false. Then I'm going to do display underscore reset underscore button, false. And finally, let's do display underscore totals equals false. So I've added 4 more elements to the table just to clean it up a bit. So we're going to click update. And I'll show you how that changes this one at the top because you can see everything all in one place here. So we've got that, and that. We're going to refresh the page and you can see them disappear. So as you can see, this table here has just the hamper box option. You don't want to search for that or anything because there's only one thing in the table. So it's nice and clean, and customers can instantly look at what products they want, add them to the cart and create their own product. So that's nice, it's simplified it nicely for people. Other changes you can make are adding filters, either drop downs above the table to filter by category, tag, attribute, that kind of thing. Or you can use some filter widgets if you have a sidebar on your page to make it easier for people to find what they want. You can also rename the column headers. You can remove any of these labels if you don't want them. And so there's lots you can do with it. And so the final thing I'm going to show you how to do is to disable these links. So by default, you can click on a link in the table and it will take you through to the single product page for that table. You may or may not want to do that, but usually with a build your own product, people don't want to spend ages reading about every single item. They normally make decisions much quicker than that. So if you're doing a build your own pizza, you might want a few words describing the type of cheese or whatever, but you probably don't want people to click through to the next page. So what we're going to do is write links equals, and then we're going to put in quotation marks none. And that's going to disable the links in the table so that people cannot click through to the single product page. So I'm just refreshing the page and you can see that the links have gone. So now this functions as a completely standalone WooCommerce order form so that customers they can choose a box, they can choose the content, they can choose the finishing touches, add to the cart. And then once they've done that, they can use the normal WooCommerce functionality to click through to the cart or go straight to the checkout and buy their product. So that's it. You've learned how to create a WooCommerce build your own product website where customers have lots of choices about configuring their own product and adding it to the cart to do it however they want. There's a written tutorial alongside this video which you might find helpful, and WooCommerce product table comes with full documentation and support from us at Barn2 Media. You can get the plugin from our website at barn2.co.uk, so get in touch if you need any advice on whether it's suitable for your needs or anything help you need in getting it set up in the way that you need it. So I hope that was useful for you, and thanks for watching.